What's up, everybody? It's your boy Rob G. Hey, today we're going to be doing something real special. We're going to be hooking up our AC. So, some of you guys are in climates right now where it's incredibly hot outside, right? So, we have to supplement the air inside our tent. For example, if it's 85 degrees outside, it's going to be 95 inside, right? And we add lights and everything else. So, if you're in a climate like that, I suggest adding central air just to the tents, right? So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to show you what we're doing. What you see here is my setup for the AC. So I have a portable air conditioning unit that I got. I'll put the link in the description so you'll see what it is. This one I like because it has temperature and it has humidity settings, which we're going to need. But I'll tell you how I set this up. Here is the air conditioning vent that's going to pull the cold air, and we're going to attach a T to it, right? Because we have two tests that we're doing. So one ducting, we're going to duct cold air to one tent, and then the other is going to go to this one right here, right? The other one's off camera. You can't see it, but we're going to supply two tents. If you only have one, this goes directly to your tent. Now, I'm going to get my camera so I can show you the details of it because it's a little different. So here is the AC unit up close, and you'll see what I did is I got a piece of flashing, right? I think I got this from the roofing department. And I'll show you what it looks like. But this flashing will go over the top, and I kind of got some Gorilla Tape, you'll see, and I taped it on the side, over the top, on the other side, and the bottom, so that all the cold air comes out of this ducting, right? This ducting is what we're going to use to push the cold air directly into our tent. Otherwise, it would just be blowing air kind of into the room, and then we'd have to cool off the whole room in order to get our tents cool. But I'm going to take a step back and we're going to look at this tent. You'll see, if you look at it from the front, you'll see that I have the venting that's coming out in the very top, right? Let's come up to the top. You see how I have that vent right here coming out the top, and then it's going out. I'm ducting it outside of the room, outside of the space that I'm in. I don't want to put my AC, for example, I don't want to put my AC unit and have the AC go directly to the top or the side port right here, because as soon as we put air in it, it's just going to get captured like on this side, and it has a tendency to get sucked out too quick. So what we're going to do is we're going to run the ducting all the way to this port back here on the opposite side of the tent. That way, what it does is the air from the AC, right, goes up and it enters on the far side of the tent, and then it cools off the whole tent because the suction is happening on this far side, on the other side. So you want the cool air to come on this side, cool off the tent, move over, and then exit the tent on the other far side. Got it? So that is how we're going to set it up. Because when you do a portable air conditioner, the exhaust part comes out here on the back side of the AC unit. So the back side is where I have that attached to the same exhausts that my tent are exhausting with the digital inline fan. So those digital inline fans of this tent, for example, this tent, I have two again, remember. The this tab, the digital inline fan, is exhausting out as well. And I got a T, a Y, and I just hooked up the Y, and I put the exhaust on one end, and then the tense exhaust on the other, and I have a third. So I have kind of 3 Ys here. But the point is, the same exhaust that you want for your hot air for your AC unit is the same exhaust you can use for your digital inline fan that's scrubbing the air and pushing that all outside into the outside or into another room, but preferably outside, right? So how I'm going to get the cold air to go in, I'm going to take this. I'm going to go ahead and I got my T just like that. Right? See how I have a T? I have 2 tenths. So I'm going to get some Gorilla tape, have some gaff tape, some insulation tape, and I'm going to attach that. You can also get a wire metal ring, that you use a screwdriver. Whatever you want to do to secure this. We're going to get a nice seal on our ducting. Okay. Just a couple of wraps because we don't want any of that cold air to go outside. We want all the cold air to go inside our tanks. What we're looking for is to get our temperatures down because we're in flour. So we can't do that if it's 90 degrees outside. There's no way we're going to get this down in the 70s without cooling it off, right? So here's our setup there. I took a hook screw and I just hooked it into the top. So now I can hold it up. You don't have to do all this fancy stuff. I did. And then I can hook it up to the top part. Before I do that, I'm going to run our ducting from the far side, right? So I'm going to run the ducting that I have with just some regular ducting insulation. You can get it insulated if you want. I didn't. I just got the regular ducting. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one end and I'm going to stick it on the top of the far side, and then I'm going to have it come this way. So hold tight. I'm going to do that right now. Now I can take this. And I'm simply pulling it, making it straight, measuring it so that it connects to my T like that. Give it a couple more inches, and then we're going to cut it. Show you how we cut it. Wire cutting scissors probably would work better, but I don't have any right now. So just make sure you're in the room. And all I'm going to do here, guys, is poke a hole. You see? Poke a hole with the scissors. Cut it, and then I can stretch it right there. It'll tear. When I get to the metal, I just... Guess you do need some wire cutter. Always use the right tool. Get that wire cutter, cut that. Okay. That's our excess. I might use that for the other side. I don't think I need two. I bought another one just for the other length of the tent, but I don't know if I'll need it. That might be a lot. So now we come and we're simply coming over the top here, sliding this on. This is all 6-inch ducting. Our inline fan is 6 inches. So I just keep all the ductwork the same size. It makes it a lot easier to work with. But these ports that you're using, They can go up to 10 inches if you wanted that much power, I guess. It's a tight squeeze, so take your time. Also, these T's and this all this ductwork can have sharp edges, so be careful. You don't want to cut yourself. Basically, we're going to get this fit over the top here. Get this on. It's really a tight squeeze. Once you get it on, it's nice and snug. There we go. Okay, so we're on. Now, I can get my tape. Come here, and we'll secure it. Get a piece on there. And work our way around. Make sure we get a nice, good seal. Sometimes the wire is better. I just didn't have any right now, so I'm using some specialty tape. Be careful if you're using tape. A lot of times tape, when it heats up, like duct tape, for example, it'll heat up and then fall off. And you don't want that because without the AC and a 90-degree day, you could be running into problems. So make sure whatever you use to secure, you do a good job securing. Like I did, right? So there's one side already set up. Now I'm going to do the other side. And then we're going to turn it on and see how it works. So let me get this other side. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So same deal. I have the other end. And I'm kind of tightening it, pulling it, making sure it's a straight line. I'm going to run this across the back side. It's going to go right here to about right here, guys. So again, I'm going to take my wire cutter as well. I'll take my scissors, cut it. Then when it comes to the wire, I'll take my wire cutters, cut that, keep the excess. You always need ductwork. I'm going to come here. I'm going to feed this from the back side here. Okay. Now I have the ducting on both sides. Oops, lost it. Now I'm going to get my T. And let's hook up the other side. Again, if you only have 1/10, you don't have to worry about the T part. You can just run this directly to the opposite side of your tent, and you're good to go. I have 2 for this particular project. And so I'll show you how we can keep both of them cool. Okay? And we get this 6-inch ducting. There. Okay. So we get our tape or any kind of way you're going to secure it. Just make sure you get that on there. Nice and secure. Nice and snug. Okay. One more wrap. this tape is pretty good in terms of how well it hears. Okay. So now the only thing I'm going to do is secure it. And what I did is I just created a little loop there so I can have something to hang on to. Right? There. So now that's it. We have our AC. I'll take this off so you can see it. But our AC is coming cold out of the front and it's going into the far side of the tents. And then the exhaust is getting exhausted out the back and out of the property. Let's check it out. So just to recap here, we have our AC that we retrofitted the top. I used a roof flashing, right? And I got a roof flashing and I put that on here so that all the cold air gets forced through a tube versus free flowing into the room. And then we have it split where one goes into the far side of one tent, the other, here we go, is going across the top and it's dropping down into the far side of the tent. So we have it going from the AC, right, over far side of the tent, cooling off the tent, the air getting cool, and then leaving the tent on the opposite side and out of the property. So the top two are exhaust vents, the bottom two are cool air, forced air going into the tent. The cool thing again, like I said, about this setup with the controlled air is now, when I turn this on, it's going to let cold air and I can dehumidify with this. So not only can I keep it cool in the flowering days, right, which is what we want our temperatures when we're getting into weeks 5, 6, and 7. We want our nighttime temperatures to be like in the low 70s. And then the last couple weeks, we're going to even drop it down to like the 60, 68, 67, right? So you want our high temperatures to be nice and cool also, just like the fall. So if you're in a hot climate and you're in flower and you can't do anything, you can't get it any cooler, you got to get some controlled air, and this is the best way to set it up. Hey, if you have any questions of how to do it, check us out at letsgrowinside.com. We'll show you the way. Get ready, get set. Let's Grow Inside. Next, we're going to be feeding. So we're in week 5, week 4, week 5. I want to show you our feeding schedule, but now we got to start controlling our temperature and our humidity. We want both of those to start lowering, and this is going to help. We'll see you in class.